let's move on to something that vibes with both of us, I think, really, really well.
Sure.
Let's talk about Andor, which is, I
Yes.
think, pound for pound, the best live action Star Wars like property since Rogue One. And it's
Mhm.
no mistake that this is the prequel to that movie because both have been amazing.
Yep.
We're through 11 episodes. The finale's next week. We'll probably do a finale episode for episode 55 just to talk about the Andor finale. But man, Fusion, this show kicks so much ass.
It's ramping. It's ramping at a very good pace, but it's so captivating. But it's not like there's a lot of threads going on
No,
and so
it's
much
just it's
action.
prestige television in Star Wars.
Yep. Yep.
Like that's the best way to describe it because it a lot so many scenes are just two people talking. Like and that's prestige television. Like that's just people like characters interacting and just taking their time in their scenes and not rushing to the next action sequence. Like Star Wars is just it's slow, methodical, and like just epic in the best ways. And I fucking love it.
Someone told me it feels like in a galaxy far, far away, you sprinkle on Downton Abbey with the West Wing, and you can kind of get the vibe of this show. Like just because, like you said, every scene I mean, most scenes it's just just dialogue back and forth, but it pulls you in, you know. And then when there are action moments, they're not so over the top, they're not so outlandish, but they're effective and they pull you in even further. And I think Diego Luna is phenomenal at this role because he kind of his face doesn't convey a lot of emotions except in his eyes. You
Yeah,
could
you can
see
just
like,
tell, oh, this dude wants to burn things,
yeah,
like right now.
exactly. But there's just so many things I have questions for because like her name Velsartha, the is she
Cousin,
Mothma's sister or cousin?
cousin. But
Cousin.
it
Okay.
felt like a sisterly relationship.
Yeah. And then Luthen Rael, obviously Stellan Skarsgård's character, there's gonna have to be something big there, you know, based on this last episode. But like, holy shit, man, the the prison. What was I forget the name of the planet? Something five, right?
Yeah, some
Starts
with
with
an
an
N.
N.
What's
When he got sent to the prison at the end of that episode, I'm like, oh, this is kind of crappy. But I found myself captivated the three prison episodes. Like I was like, holy shit! Like that first one, it would
Narkina.
move Narkina 5. Um, it happened. It moved along very slowly, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not a real big fan of this." But then we get much more Kino Loy in the last two prison episodes, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Andy Serkis was phenomenal in this movie in his role for 3 or 4 episodes. He was phenomenal, man. Like phenomenal. I need more Kino Loy. I need
And we
more.
didn't see him die.
We did not see him die. He said, "I can't swim." Left him at the prison. That's it. We don't know much more of what's going to happen with him. I want to see more of him. Doesn't have to be this season. Could be in next season. Obviously, they're going to be laying the foundation of building fully building out the Rebel Alliance, leading to Rogue One. I'm in, man. I am in. Like the aesthetics are phenomenal. Like the CGI, it hits right when it needs to hit. You posted the GIF of Luthen
The
Rail's
the
ship.
the spinning laser pulling the
It's,
Iron
it,
Man.
that was fucking
It
awesome.
was
Like just
so rad. It goes.
yeah,
It just he's like countermeasures ready, and then it just ramps up on a dime of like throwing out all the debris, and it fucks up the tractor beam, and he just takes off. 2 minute dogfight, even less than that probably. Done out hyperspace,
yep,
and it was awesome.
yep.
Damn, it was so cool.
It
Like
was
this
like
this
what,
show just
like a
it was
45-second
so
shot.
fast,
Yeah,
and it was just like it was just amazing. It was just like, oh man, this is what we have wanted to see. Basic like the that third act of Rogue One where it's just epic action scene after epic action scene. It's
yeah,
like that, but you spread it out. Like here's one of those scenes in one episode. Totally fine with it because the characters are all compelling. The dialogue's great. It's shot. It's just gorgeous to look at. It
yes,
is
yes, it
so
is.
well done. All the
Yeah,
CGI, all the practical effects. It is just 10 out of 10 every time. They don't
yeah.
miss, and they haven't at all. The only quibble I have is that they're showing free episodes over Thanksgiving, but stopping at episode 2. Episode 3, there's a damn good reason they dropped 1,
Yep,
2, and 3 at the same time. What are
yep,
you doing? It's got to be a
yep.
timing thing with TV. Maybe they can only go for an hour and they're going to stretch it out with commercials. But I mean, the third episode is the hook.
Where are they airing it on ABC?
It's got to be because that's their
That's
football network.
Disney's.
So
That's the Disney flagship.
yeah, that's their
Is
network
ABC.
television. So like, it's got to be ABC.
Oh
And I think
man,
they're releasing it free on a couple different platforms too. I think it's gonna be. Was it on? Did they say Hulu maybe?
maybe because that
Something
is
like that.
their
It's gonna be on a
platform.
couple their other streaming platforms or in spaces. So I'm like, yeah, they really. I think they should have also included episode 3. That's the only misstep so far. Because
Yeah,
I love this show. It's
yeah.
incredible. Can't wait for the finale. It's gonna be so kick ass.
Are
Like I
we getting
mentioned,
Kate? Go ahead. Go
I
ahead. Sorry.
mentioned
Go
God
ahead.
of
Finish.
War. Now I'm at the point in the Ragnarok where all the pieces are coming back together, and it feels like, oh, here we go. That's where we're at with Andor right now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all converging back on where we started in Ferrix, and it feels like it's about to shit's about to hit the fan in the best way. I can't wait.
I think any big reveals you I mean, or big shocking things that you want to throw out there for the finale.
I mean, obviously, there's gonna have to be some deaths.
Yep.
Obviously, we know Andor lives because
Yeah.
he's in the movie.
Yep.
And Mon Mothma does too.
Yep. And Saul Guerrera and
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is the episode where he gets fucked up though,
where
because
Saul
obviously
gets
he
messed up.
gets
Yeah.
really fucked up between now and Rogue One.
Yep.
So that's probably either the finale or next season, because we're gonna have to see that. And I imagine he's just more of a character we'll see in season 2, as Andor is more officially part of the Rebel Alliance, or what will become the Rebel Alliance.
Yep.
So, because I can't remember, did they establish that he knew Saw in Rogue One? Was
He
there
does know
implied
who he is.
histories there?
I think he does know who he is. I don't know if he
Yeah.
has a
So there's
deep
some kind
connection
of
to him.
connection there.
Yeah.
So they'll need to actually meet and interact.
Which
But
means maybe Luther, who was a Luthen, survives.
I think
And
that Cinta, the spy that's on Ferrix,
yep.
I think she's gonna die. I think
Yeah,
she's gonna
I
try
think
to
so too.
kill Cassian, and then Val is gonna save him because she realizes maybe she hears what happened to the prison and that Andor broke out,
Yep.
and is like, oh, he could be a symbol for the rebellion, like, and then
Yeah.
saves him. And and because obviously they're setting up those two are lovers, Cinta and Val,
Yeah.
and they're torn apart through the alliance and what they have to sacrifice. So I have a feeling something's going to give there narratively. It's going to come down to how Andor fits into that picture. But I'm curious how they're going to go with the where does this leave the Rebel Alliance, because we don't get Mon Mothma stepping fully into the fore as the leader outside of Rebels. Like that's when that moment happens.
Yeah.
Happens on the Bridge of the Ghost. So it can't happen in this show, which sucks because it'd have been incredible to see in live action. And you can't uncanonize Rebels because you're diving off of it with the Ahsoka series. So we won't get that moment with her, which kind of sucks. Because just imagine how hype that scene would be of her, announcing to the galaxy that, we're forming a Rebel Alliance to restore the Republic. That'd have been, it was that cool in Rebels. It'd be so much
Yeah.
even cooler in Andor. But it already happened,
Well,
so.
well, you could maybe you get the broadcast, a live version of the broadcast.
Yeah, possible. Yeah,
I
we
mean,
could,
maybe
like,
that's what
somebody could
happened.
see it from the
They
other
could be
side.
watching, like at the end of this season, or maybe at the end of next season to wrap up the show.
That is a good point.
That we
That could be
get
the
that
wrap up.
broadcast. Yep. Because all of next season, I think obviously we're setting up that she's probably going to have to go into hiding and leave her family, right?
Yeah, she's gonna have to go either on the
Yeah.
run or. Oh, we haven't seen Organa yet. Jesus
Nope.
Christ!
Nope.
So he's
Nope.
probably gonna. Is he gonna be the season 1 finale reveal? I thought it might be Ahsoka, but then I was like, oh shit, we haven't seen him, and he's very
No,
clearly involved.
I think it's Bail Organa. I think so. Like obviously, it's been mentioned that Jimmy Smith is going to be returning for this show for the show. So
Yeah,
I think that's probably the big reveal. Like, yeah. Here's the other thing is I think Luthen Rayo is going to be in a deep shit, and I think what turns Vel Sartha to her opinion of Cassian Andor is he saves Luthen. Like whatever mess he's in, he goes and he saves him. And then Luthen's like, "This is what I'm telling you about. There's something special about this guy." And Vel's like, "Okay, we have to have him part. He has to be part of this of our part of our rebellion. Like he has to be a part of it." But you're right. I do think this would be a good time to show what the fuck happened to Saul, because in Rogue One he's just like a mess. He's like
Yeah, he's
a
like the
fucking mess.
anti-Vader in terms of like he's more
Yeah.
machine than man.
He's not a very well put together Tin Man. Let's be
No.
frank, you know.
Yeah.
So we got to. I mean, we have to show what happened to him at some point. Let's. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big Saul Guerrero fan. I just don't really like the character too much. I think it kind of. I think just it drags down
It
that
works in
side of it.
bits because
Very
he's a
small bits.
one-note character.
Yeah. We got way too much of him in Rogue One. I thought we had way too much of him, and it really slowed
Well, we
him
got too much of
down.
him without proper setup.
Yeah.
Like there
Yeah.
wasn't time to sit in why is he so paranoid? Because unless you watched Clone Wars, you didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, like unless you played Rogue One, not Rogue One, Fallen Order, where he's in, or watched Rebels, where he's in, you didn't get it.
Are they saying Fallen Order is canon
Yeah,
or no?
as far as I know, that's canon.
Fallen Order is canon. Okay, okay, all right. I never really thought about if that was canon or not. Yeah, okay. Well, we can explain what happened to him. The other big thing is Rue Scott, the other guy that got the other prisoner that broke out with him with Cassian.
Well, that's
He
Melchi.
is,
He's in
what's
Rogue
that?
One. That's Melchi. He's in
Yeah,
Rogue One.
Melchi. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He's in Rogue One. So are we not going to see him until season 2? That's fine. It's okay. But we've established that they have a connection, and I think like there's pieces coming together for Cassian, and I think that's the big thing. Maybe the big reveal is that he meets K2SO at the end of this season.
Could see it.
We're obviously going to get it because it's what, a 5-year gap between the show ending and Rogue One, right? Like 5 years.
I don't think it's 5. I don't remember how long before.
They're not going to walk it right up to Rogue One unless they do
No,
time
because that was
skips.
like days before Episode 4.
Yeah,
So it's not going to be that. It'll be a bit of a jump.
yeah. Okay,
But I
'cause
could
then
see
you
them
would name
dovetail it to
yeah.
the end of Rebels, and Rebels ended 2 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
So I could see them dovetail it into that.
So he has to spend some time bonding with K2SO. He just cannot just like, oh, I had him worked with him for a few months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get that story. Maybe it's an actual episode of next season. I don't know, but maybe this season ends with he meets the droid, and the droid gets wiped, and he decides to do something about it, or take it in because the droid helps him at the end or something. Like I think we may get that cameo at the end of it this season. I think K2SO is probably gonna be the big one. That we get to see this season. But all I gotta say, man, is this has been phenomenal. Like everything I was expecting from the Book of Boba Fett to push the Star Wars universe forward, didn't get it. Did not get much out of Obi-Wan. We're getting a lot about pushing the universe.
The finale Obi-Wan was dope as fuck, though.
No. It was
That was
fucking
awesome.
dope.
But the series
final
as a
fight
whole was not as what this is.
It didn't push the Star Wars momentum forward at all.
Yeah. Which
This
sucks
is
because
pushing
this
things
is a
forward.
show that's so much better and apparently not getting anywhere near the amount of views.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, how much is it a case of diminishing returns, putting out stuff people don't like?
Well, that and I really think we have a big fatigue, man. We do,
Yeah.
we do have a big Star Wars fatigue, and their goal is to keep pushing something. They want a Star Wars product out every year, whether it be a movie or a TV show, and I think it's wearing
I
people
think it needs
down.
to sit because, like, say we didn't have Star Wars for like 2 years and this hit, you'd be like, holy shit, give it give it all the awards. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like it would be the goddamn show. Especially in a time right now where like Better Call Saul is done. Like this is the prestige television show right now. It's got no other competition on streamers. Stranger Things was earlier, Ted Lasso's later.
Yellowstone.
But that's not on like in terms of the same audience. It's not the same audience.
No, it's not.
Yellowstone is old people that stream stuff. Like that's what it is. It's just like
I want that on a
are
t-shirt.
you the NCIS crew, and you know how to run a streaming? You can use a remote to get to a streaming website. Cool, watch Yellowstone. That's what that show is.
I want that on a t-shirt. Yellowstone is for old people that know how to stream. I want that on a t-shirt.
I will clip that out just for you.
I want that on a t-shirt. I think we're hitting a fatigue because And don't be shocked if the numbers for the next season of Mando are lower than what they have been, just
Well, I think
because
that
there
gets
may
the
be.
bump because it's got Baby Yoda. Like they
That's
have
true.
Grogu. Like it's gonna get the bump. And Mandalorians are
See,
fucking rad. They are
as much as
cool.
people want, as much as people want to give Lucas shit for wanting to put
Sometimes it works.
kid centric characters in his products, it fucking works, man. It does. It
And
works.
and a lot of those themes like are it's just family like that kind of relationship is extremely relatable. Right? It's for
Yeah,
everyone. Whereas like this is basically Andor is like the Americans in Star
yeah,
Wars. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not for everybody, man. Like that is
yeah,
for a specific kind of nerd, which I love.
yeah.
But it's not. I don't know if it's gonna hit that super wide audience because
Mando does.
and Mando does.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of show.
Oh
Whereas
man.
like Mando is kind of at least maybe season 3 will be different, but it was had that Western vibe. This does not have that. This is a fucking like spy drama, like not like enemy behind the lines kind of drama. Like it is a different kind of show. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the finale.
I'm in the same boat as you. I say this is a solid 9 out of 10 TV show for me, and I see people complaining, and I think those people are just there's a lot of
I don't.
fatigue
I
after.
don't get what Chris's problem is. Like this show fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, what is his complaint? Is it is it just Rise of
I
Skywalker
honestly think it's
fatigue
like
or what?
the opposite of his Ragnarok complaints. He's like, oh, it's like
Too
plotting,
slow, too
and I'm like,
serious.
what? What? I don't understand it.
So,
Ah,
so Chris, I'm assuming Chris wants his lightsabers, Jedi's, and Sith and Skywalkers and
I
every
mean, don't get me wrong.
every
I would take no Jedi and have just Donnie Yen show up. That'd be
That's
dope.
true.
But he
Yeah.
can't in canon. He can't yet.
Not yet. No.
His character was fantastic. And oh my god, Donnie Yen.
Wait, hold on. No, we could get him, but he doesn't necessarily have to be attached to
That's true. Because
Cassian
he.
Andor.
That's true. That's very true. But also, he's gonna be in John Wick 4. And oh my god, I totally
Oh
forgot about that until the
man.
trailer. And holy shit, I'm so hyped for that movie.
Hell yeah.
Donnie Yen versus Keanu Reeves. Oh my goodness, that movie's gonna be awesome. Oh, I cannot
I like how they
wait.
just went back to chapter 4. They're not
Yeah,
calling it anything like was it Parabellum is what they
yeah,
called
they gave it a
3?
name. Yeah,
Nope,
no,
it's
no,
chapter 4.
nope. God, that's
Man, like seriously, this I think you've hit the nail on the head. This isn't for everyone. This isn't a Star Wars show for everyone. For geeks like us, we love this because it's the Star Wars universe without all of the lightsabers, the Sith and the Jedi and the Skywalkers. It's a bigger picture of there is a galaxy that operates and functions behind all of that. And we get to see what's like we
yeah,
get
we're
to
getting into the bureaucracy of the
yes, the
ISB and
bureaucracy, all
all
the
that.
politics. We've touched on we've danced around politics in the prequels, a little bit in the other shows here and there. This isn't dancing. You are getting step by step, blow by blow of what the
Yeah, we're
politics and what
talking about banking regulation, and
the
it's just incredible.
the
It
autocracy, the
yeah
dictatorship. Like I think that episode, the final episode, where the end of that episode where he goes on the run and he gets caught in the middle of a fucking like legal dispute and gets thrown into prison right after that.
yeah
Like just like that whole thing is like it makes you hate the empire even more.
yeah,
Like
and then
oh fuck
more
these
slice
people.
of life stuff with the universe. We get more culture with Mon Mothma's people and finding out about
Yeah.
their old traditions versus the
Yep.
new, and it's all this little subtle backdrop that doesn't really matter that
Nope.
much, but it tells you more about this character that they're a living person and they're living in this world and how they view themselves within it. And it is so engaging in
Yep.
a way
We
that
get
most Star Wars stories have not been.
we've got so caught up with the supernatural aspect of Star Wars, that we really didn't think about the fact that, people forget that there are so
Yeah,
many
like this
moving
is more of
parts
a
to the
science
galaxy.
fiction kind of thing versus a
Yep.
science fantasy,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
agree.
awesome.
I agree.
It's
It's
just
been
been
a
an
fun ride, man. It's been a very fun ride. I can't wait for the finale next week, and I really am excited to see where they go next because we both said they've said you're getting 24 episodes, you're getting two seasons, and that's it.
Yep, they
And
clearly have a plan. They know where they're
yep,
going, and
yep,
I am hella in. Let's
yep.
go.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.